My name is Michael or Kubera, and I just did a 45-minute live stream on Billionaire Bio. So if you like money, if you want to see crypto billionaires being discussed as well, and if you're interested in billionaires, Forbes 100, Fortune 500, check that other channel out in the description below. Hit that like button on the latest live stream. Support that channel, and we're going to be uploading content on there as well. So today's video, the IRS is soliciting contractors to crack down on crypto tax evasion. Oh no! U.S. tax regulators looking to collect API keys on and off-chain data and taxpayer documents in an effort to fight crypto non-compliance as of 19th May. So, my name is Michael Kubera. I probably said that already. Welcome to the channel. I really appreciate you guys. Hit that like button. If you're new, subscribe for crypto content, and let's hit the intro. Let's roll it. Let's get into it. I don't know why I'm getting so excited about the IRS, but okay, yeah. Okie dokie, so today is May 22nd, and I went on CoinMarketCap, and on the blog we have this nice gentleman. That is the face of, sadness hiding behind a slight smile. And why? Who is this guy? Well, he is Laszlo Haniec. He is a early Bitcoin supporter, and he is the man who spent 10,000 Bitcoins on 2 pizzas. So one pizza, May 22nd, 2010, was worth 5,000 BTC. Let's just type in how much is 5,000 BTC currently at the current prices. We're currently, Ethereum's at 207, Bitcoin dominant is 66%. Market cap 256.2. Oh, it jumped down to 55.8 billion, and BTC is at 9,185. So at the peak, let's say this was like $50 million, right? That's a $50 million pizza right there. But he ordered 2, so he ordered 2 cheese pizzas. That's $100 million right there. $100 million at, the peak most recently. That was over at $10,000. At the really, really high peak, over $200 million. And if he held on to that, if he was selling it for 10% over, even with the crash, he still could have made over $100 million easily. So that is the face of a man who unfortunately does not have $200 million, but he does have a cheese pizza. He says he doesn't regret it though. So there's also an entire Twitter account based around it. I did order a pizza a couple times during the quarantine, but I generally don't pay Bitcoin for this because it's still difficult. I know there's people who will broker it. There's websites, but Papa John's actually gave me a whole bunch of store credit. Oh, he's getting free pizza for a while, so at least that's that. You said in the past that your job didn't have to do with cryptocurrency per se, but you've tried to integrate it when possible. Does it still interest you in that way? I've always been interested. Guys my age, guys like us, we were tinkering with Linux, Perl, all the stuff early on. Kind of built the first website. So this guy's really, really technical, right? So some people have never used Linux, and for them it's like, So with Bitcoin, it was like, hey, what is this? Just some more fake internet money? I mean, there's tons of them. Before Bitcoin, I had eGold and then something else before that. They're just centralized alternative money systems for buying the things that you couldn't buy with a bank account. In e-commerce, especially now in the past 10 years, usually people are okay with using whatever. That's really changed where people are completely okay with whatever. What's the last time you paid for something in Bitcoin? A couple of days ago. So he doesn't regret it, but a lot of people do regret selling Bitcoin. And that really depends when you sold Bitcoin and with who, because the IRS, if you chose with Coinbase or other US-based exchanges, well, it's going to be a little bit easier, especially if you gave them your details and you were doing larger amounts. And even if you lost all your money, this is worse for all the people who lost their money. So here's a beautiful post. IRS says I made $82,000 on crypto. In fact, I lost money. What do I do? Hi there, burner account. Letter today from the IRS CP200 says I made 82 grand. I probably bought around 5 to 10,000 in various coins at the time, but ended up losing money. How can I resolve this? So this guy can file a report and all, and this is much easier. But the IRS, just for simple purchases that were worth for $5,000, $10,000, yeah, maybe it went up. But this guy doesn't say anything about day trading or doing all of that. So this would be an easier case. But even for that, the IRS is already making it into a ballooned figure, $82,000, right? I just discovered that I owe the IRS $50,000 that I don't have. Well, this guy is most likely screwed. How do I pay this? At the advice of my friends, he makes $47,000 a year, so that's more than everything that he makes in a year. Honestly, OP, go see a tax attorney. He lost all of his money. The thing is, if you sold it at the wrong time, depending whether it was January or December or April, there's capital gains tax, right? And if you did a lot of day trading, it also depends where you are around the world, but this is just around America. In Poland, there was this crazy proposition that you'd be taxed for every single transaction, but how would they go through that? It never passed, but various governments want to find a way to tax cryptocurrency, and currently there's not very many people who actually pay crypto taxes, so that's why the IRS is soliciting contractors to try and find out. They're evolving its efforts to crack down on crypto tax non-compliance, recruiting independent contractors to obtain crypto transactions data. On May 12th, software provider Crypto Trader Tax released an email received from the IRS in which the government body says placing a few single-case contracts as pilots with the goal of publishing a solicitation and request for proposal for a multi-case larger contract. In a statement of work, SOW requests the IRS said it is looking to collect this data through API keys gathered from exchanges, wallets, etc., public on-chain data, and private off-chain data. Taxpayers submitted paper documents, so that's a really easy one if someone filed 0 and then Coinbase is like, oh no, they made 100,000. Well, IRS is going to pay you a nice visit. Data from merchant electronic systems. Excel, CSV, and PDF files from various sources. So, emails, and if you uploaded it to social media, I know, or there's stupid ways around this, but related data for valuation purposes. So if someone goes on YouTube and they're like, yeah, I made $50,000, and then they filed 0, that's not good. But it gets tricky. Again, it gets tricky because in my case, for example, yeah, I made 6 figures, but I lost it all. So, there's a lot of people like me. There's some people who lost over $1 million. And there's some people who lost over $1 million and they sold it at the wrong time. And sorry, you owe $400,000. For me, I didn't realize all of my crypto, so that's kind of a good one on my end, because even though I lost a lot of money because I huddled on to my bags, on the other hand, if I did sell and I had all that money, I would owe a lot of money in taxes. So it gets tricky. It really does get tricky. Data on the acquisition of virtual currency will also be recorded, as well as tracking information across platforms, wallets, and exchanges for both on-chain and off-chain transactions. Again, really just depends if the company's going to give it away for you. This call for contractors is the latest effort by the IRS to quell crypto tax evasion. Following a wave of compliance letters sent to crypto holders in 2019, the IRS finally introduced a question on cryptocurrency activity in the 1040 form for 2020. So some of us crypto enthusiasts who didn't pay taxes didn't get the stimulus checks. What they do? Some people say that is it worth it getting 2% back for getting robbed of 40%? There's the people who completely don't support taxes. Contractors are also expected to consult with the IRS ahead of any meetings with taxpayers, assist the IRS ahead of trials, and testify as a summary witness where is necessary. So people are going to go to court. That's not good. However, one user, this is coming from Bitcoin.com, links are all in the description below, says they're not really sure if you owe more money or not since they have really bad data. They are almost certainly joining up some of their internal tax filing database tables with external data sets, probably Coinbase, and trying to estimate how much they think you owe. So here is an interesting fact. Former agent Sherry Peel Jackson found out the hard way about IRS chaos when the group turned their sights on her. She was slapped with a 4-year prison sentence in 2008 for willful failure to file. The former certified fraud examiner stopped paying income tax after being unable to find specific legislation mandating it. According to Jackson, nobody she asked could tell her. In her closing remarks at the 2002 Citizens Truth in Taxation hearing, she stated, "In my tenure as an IRS agent, I personally saw marriages broken, families torn apart, homes confiscated, and businesses destroyed, all while my colleagues and I were out making unjust demands on the American people without the proper authority. Now, you be the judge." Whatever one's views about the legality, none of this bodes well for the IRS's organizational and people skills, considering they can't even tell Americans why they're being taxed and that they literally cage those who as much as ask. The draconian cuts to the IRS budget have meant less of everything from personnel to training to taxpayer assistance to enforcement activities to compliance to systems modernization and ultimately to tax revenue. So, do you have to worry? Who knows? My name is Michael Kubera. Thanks so much for joining us in today. See you guys tomorrow. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button, subscribe, and see you guys tomorrow. Happy Bitcoin Pizza Day. Bye.